got the picture right. Wanna light in hindsight. I want the corners to align. You're just too much to capture. You're just too much to capture. You're just too much to capture. And will my current memory fade to a distant southern sea? Or will the future ever be? You're just too much to capture. You're just too much to capture. So much for that picture now. It's sad to say you won't be an image for the crowd. Who really cares about a portrait that could shine? To capture moments all the time, leave it all behind. Leave it all behind. I never got the picture right. I burn it up in Fahrenheit. I just wanna feel alive. You're just too much to capture. You're just too much to capture. So much for that picture now. It's sad to say you won't be an image for the crowd. Who really cares about a portrait that could shine? To capture moments all the time, leave it all behind. Just leave it all behind. So long to you. There's everything that you want to know. So long, so soon. It's just a picture, let it go. So long to you. It's everything we carved in stone. So long, so soon. It's just a picture, let it go. She says she wants more from me. It's a plan to break my heart into three. Or should I fight back and play? Or give up and surrender? She says I'm not right, by the way. So right, she tried so hard for me to stay. I guess I fall back into you. 'Cause I surrender. And the rhythm of your heart as it breaks right down. Still I hear it sometimes, it's beating out loud. There's still a lot to say, just spit it right out. And you will hear sounds. She says she wants more from me. I gave her every damn piece of me.
Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of the SharpSHOOTers. As always, we're your hosts, Danny and Juice. How you doing tonight, Juice?
Doing good, Danny. I'm excited. Holidays are upon us. We're here. Juicy 50s in our rearview mirror. And now it's time for the Shooty Awards coming up in a few weeks. It's good times. I'm excited to talk some wrestling tonight.
You sound so cheerful tonight, Juice. I'm very excited.
I'm easing into it. I'm taking a nice
Gotcha.
calmer approach this evening,
That's
best
fair.
I can.
After this past Tuesday, if you missed it, this past Tuesday was the Juicy 50. We went through Juice's top 50 wrestlers of the year. Most of them I agreed with. Some of the positions, not so much. Actually, no, that's a lie. For the most part, I agreed with most of the positions. Some of them were questionable, but that's the fun of these lists. We all have different opinions, and a lot of you guys were able to also say your opinions in the comments. If you were not able to check it out, check out our link tree below. You could check our YouTube. You can check our TikTok that is newly up, and we'll be adding some clips tonight and tomorrow. And you could check our Facebook for any links or anything that you need to click on or updates. And on the side here, since we're doing a little bit of housekeeping as it is our instructions for subscribing to us down below. As you can see, we need some subscribers. We need to pay the bills. If you have Amazon Prime, please, it is free for you. Helps us out a lot. All the instructions on the side here. That would be great. Without further ado, though, it is Thursday, and it is our last point standing. So, Juice, why don't you get us started?
Sure, I suppose. All right, let's get that graphic up there.
We're all good.
Alrighty.
Before
Starting
we get
off,
started, do you want to do your breaking news, or are you saving that for a specific spot?
No, we can save it for a certain spot.
All right.
All right. So, kicking off, let's talk some Toni Storm.
Yeah, let's go.
Toni Storm back. She just came back the day before last week's episode. Since then, she's wrestled a few times.
Mm-hmm.
And last night they did the interview with RJ City. Clearly, they're going with the identity crisis thing kind of going on, where she thinks it's her first day. She's brand new. I'm digging it. I like it. It's something different rather than just, hey, I'm back. So I think it's the right way to go with her. We'll see how this progresses with time. If she tries to become Mariah's protege and Mariah lets her,
that would be great.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mariah's just all right, she doesn't remember who I am or what I did, and slowly but surely, I think that'd be pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really excited that she's back, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she's doing. And I'm glad they went with Thunder and Mariah, by the way, for the match at the World's End.
Agreed.
Give Toni time to kind of percolate and build back up. And I'm not 100% on this, but I'm pretty sure they released 3 brand new shirts for Toni Storm. I think they just posted the same old shirts again on purpose and called them new because the identity crisis thing. Not 100% on that, but the shirts look very familiar. I'm pretty sure they're the exact same shirts that they just labeled as new on shop.
They were all the old ones. Say as Jay DeFalco, I have the red one.
There you go.
Maybe they put new in quotation marks. If they did that, that's not their fault.
No, they didn't. I don't mind it. I think it's just pretty funny that they were the new shirts, and I'm like, wait a minute, these are the original shirts.
I am really enjoying this storyline. I like the interaction she had with RJC last night. I like the interaction she had this past Saturday night, where she was like, "Oh, I'm a huge fan. It was great meeting you." Backstage. It is going to be interesting where they go with it, because is it storyline? Is it going to be her an act, or is it going to be this is real and then something jogs her memory, or is it this a setup from the beginning where she's trying to get back in? It's going to be really interesting to see how they write this. So I love anything Toni Storm does. So this is just another part of it. And then my favorite part though was when RJ was with her, and he was like, what about being a 3-time AEW Women's Champion? She's like, whoa, too early to call me that. I'm like, that's so funny. Come on, this is fantastic.
I wish. We'll get there. That was good. All right. Next point: Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher from Collision.
Bro,
shocker of a match. Hell of a match. I love the call. It makes everything very tight and interesting in the league.
Yep.
And I thought it was a great call that Briscoe beat him. I think it gets Briscoe over way more for the growth he's had in the year as an AEW character with the Ring of Honor title and how he did last year's Continental Classic. and it keeps it interesting now because now that league essentially is going to come down to Fletcher versus Garcia.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned, Okada's probably going to get in, and it's going to come down to those two in their match.
Well,
And
also Briscoe's last
yeah,
match is against, I believe, the Beast, if I'm correct about that, or is
I think so. But
so
that,
that
like,
might be
doing the
also
math though,
but I'm saying that
yeah,
that might just be like a good spoiler and give the Beast a win there if they are gonna have Briscoe go
yeah,
out. Because I don't think
oh for
I don't think
sure,
they can have two people go undefeated in each league. I mean, winless in each league. I mean, they could, but you hope
yeah,
not. You hope Beast gets
well,
one win.
yeah. Yeah, but that was really my only note. I like the little wrinkle there of Briscoe beating Fletcher. It's crazy when you think about like Briscoe beating Fletcher, but Fletcher beating Okada, and you're just like, what? But that's the point of the classic. At least it's not predictable where you can look at it and go, okay.
But
Oh, I'm
also,
glad for that. I
speaking
like
more
it.
on that, that's the point of having these main event stars where like even
Yeah.
though it's an upset, it's not really an upset when the guy was a former world champion. Like it's not supposed
No.
to be an upset and people kind of forget that because of the character, like our former host Matt who like doesn't get the Briscoe character. It is an over character and it is a main event character. That's his
Mhm.
fault because he abandoned us. But that's not the point. The point is that when you have so many of these main event guys that they bring in, they need to have these wins where you don't know who's going to win. And that's what I like about AEW with it. As much as I complain about the storyline sometimes, the unexpectedness is makes up for it. So,
Mm. Yeah, no, it's a good call. The next one up is Mercedes versus Anna Jay,
no, you got Death
and
Riders.
oh, I looked ahead. My apologies. Next up, Death Riders. So on Collision, they went and straight up kidnapped FTR, and
Yeah.
I honestly thought we weren't going to see FTR for a while, and they probably could have done that, but they wanted to do the promo instead and not make it like a mystery of where they are, more of just like, oh, they were left in a parking lot and like they're just recovering now. So that's fine. I mean, it's like a 2 week thing. It's not a big deal. But I thought they were going to do like the whole like indoctrination thing, where they were like going to kidnap them and like hold the eyes open and make
So
them like.
I still think that's on the board. Like as I
It
was
could be,
watching the video
yeah.
thing, I kept thinking back to like your prediction for Blood and Guts, and I was just like, he might not be that far off, man. Like this is like why would they
Mhm.
leave them standing? Why would they leave them up? Like why wouldn't they try to take them out more? Like they've been so
Mhm.
vicious with other people. What's different about FTR that they weren't as vicious? I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting where they go with this storyline.
Yeah. Well, and then they said they're bringing help.
Mhm.
So you have to assume that's going to be Copeland.
I'm interested to see who that's gonna be. I mean,
I would think it's
is
Adam
he
Copeland. I
cleared?
feel like, yeah, I think he's ready. I think he's good to come back,
All right.
but we'll
I
see.
hope it's
I mean,
Copeland.
I'm no doctor, but I think it could be him. And my last thing about the Death Riders I wanted to kind of tackle here. We haven't really talked about it. I'm going to be a little tinfoil hat here, but I want to revisit the mastermind person behind this thing of it all with the Death Riders. Um, because I know in the commercials they've been running with the Death Riders in the desert, they keep showing Moxley with the signal flare. And as we all know, usually with a signal flare, you're calling for someone, you're calling
Hmm.
someone in, you're calling for help or backup or something like that. So maybe
Or
someone's
like this is where
maybe
you. Yeah. Go ahead. Continue. Sorry.
maybe someone's coming at World's End, and it could be the person that's behind this and doing it. And I had a crazy thought. I mean, it could be not all of them, but it could be Kenny Omega. It could be the Young Bucks. I mean, look at the timing of them, like coming and going and doing their thing, and why they would come for Omega against what the Elite's doing with Omega. So I don't know. I just it landed in my head recently with Omega, and I was like, they could go that way, but we'll see.
Again, I think, and I've said this once, and I'll say it a couple of times until they tell me differently. I think they've dropped the ball on the AEW side of this storyline. I think the Death Rider side has been going well, but I still don't. Hold on, it's about to go off.
Mm.
I still don't like how it started personally. That's just a personal thing. I still don't like how Darby and Orange, they could have had off longer to make it more impactful, and they chose not to. I don't like recently, we talked about it on Tuesday, how it seems like everyone who kind of started this battle, Garcia, Private Party, and all them, they're just not battling them. Like, it's an afterthought now because they've moved on to other things. I don't understand why Garcia can't do what Darby's doing and be able to do the Continental Classic and go back to being like one of the first guys defending AEW. Like, just random place. Like, it's not a bad story. I just don't think whether something happened behind the scenes that caused a change or they just didn't plan. I don't know what, but it just doesn't feel thoroughly or well planned for the AEW side. Like, it seems like they weren't sure where they were going to go. And then now with Omega back, they're still not, like, that throws another wrinkle because maybe they want to bring Omega in, maybe they don't. Like, it just seems like there's a couple of things they have in the air to say, hey, like, we kind of set this up so it'll make sense if it happens, but we also set up A, B, and C, so if those happen too, you won't be shocked. And it's like, yes and no. Like, there should be a clearer champion in a sense, and like, you set so many up that you don't have that one clear defender of AEW anymore, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we're over time, so I don't want to dive too deep in there.
Right,
There's no. There's a lot in there I do agree with, and there's some in there I don't agree with. But yeah, there's room for improvement. But we can definitely talk about that in the future weeks. Yeah.
And like I said, I keep watching it, so I'm not like turned off. I want to know what's going to happen. All right, sorry. Next point. Now you got Mercedes and AJ.
Yeah, next up, Mercedes Moné versus Anna Jay last night. Once again, a very solid match. Anna Jay showed out. I think she continues to improve over the year, and Mercedes was amazing as always. I loved her face that she made when Anna got her up on like the Widow's Peak kind of move, or the gory special. The face she made was just really like that heel face where a crowd just like wants to see you get beat up. So that's a little touch, but I really like that. And I'm curious what they're doing with her at World's End, if anything. I don't know if they're going to do... It seems like they want to do Mercedes versus Stat again. But I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with this little time left. They might run it back. But remains to be seen. That's all I really got on that.
I'm hoping they just keep giving Anna these opportunities. She's showing out, and I think she's doing real well. And I think I want them to give Mercedes a storyline. I don't care who at this point, but like... Just like a longer storyline at this point. I think she's been around. She got her feet wet. She's all accustomed to AEW. The fans know her. Everything's set up where we can give her like a meaningful storyline. And if that means dropping the belt and going out to the World Championship, fine, I don't care. But like start giving her, as weird as it sounds, start giving her more spotlight. And I think they give her a good amount, but like give her more substance, I guess, more than spotlight. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think between Camille and then the New Japan defense over the weekend, I think they're trying to kind of repackage or tweak her. I think they realized, honestly, I can't really blame too much the Brit thing. I mean, obviously the New York crowd was stupid at Forbidden Door for booing her. But honestly, half the reason they were booing her is because they knew she was from Boston and the Celtics just won.
Yeah,
so
that's like
honestly, whatever.
So
but between that and the Britt Baker thing, like they set it up where like they almost had to make her a heel for a while, and I think that was the wrong call. But here we are. So, but they'll pivot. They'll make it work eventually. But
I agree. And she'll make it work eventually. That's why I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Next up, we have Adam Cole, MJF. I thought was a pretty solid segment. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Getting MJF finally in the ring in front of a crowd for once talking. And then you had MJF. I mean, then you had Adam Cole backstage. And I guess he got the approval for Taven and Bennett to be out there with him at ringside, which, I mean, again, leads into what we've been saying. It looks like a bad sign for Cole. I don't know, man. I just don't think things are going to go well at the World's End for Cole and the Undisputed Kingdom. I like the fake out with Cole being on a pre-tape and then being in the ring and attacking him. That was nice. So I like the segment. I just, we'll see where this goes. I mean, if it's them going with MJF,
but
I probably won't like it.
Just
Well, Taven and Bennett.
What about
Yeah.
Strong?
Well, ideally, in an ideal world, I'd love for Strong, O'Reilly, and Cole to get together.
I
To put
agree.
Taven in.
And that's why
And
I
then
wouldn't mind too much if it is Taven and Bennett.
you know what? If they're doing B, I'm cool with them doing A.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's all. If they're not going to do both of those things, I don't want to see one of them.
I 100%
Actually-
agree. No, I mean,
Well,
I
that's not
still
true.
want to see Riley Strong. I don't care how that happens. I would still love to see Riley Strong and Cole all
Yeah.
together. But if they're gonna do A, it should only be because they're going to be. Like, they shouldn't just have Taven and
Yeah.
Bennett just have Taven and Bennett turn. That'd be stupid.
Jay says that he thinks they're building to that. Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. No. All right.
All right. Next up, let's take a minute here. Let's talk about Ricochet.
I'm so curious to hear about what you're gonna say about this right now.
So it was weird, man. Something's percolating, something's brewing. They made a shift or something. Because that first segment with him in the ring with them, it did not make him look good at all.
Nope.
I was like, he looks like a dweeb. He looks like a loser, and like seemed like it was by design. So then they did the segment backstage, and almost leaned into it more, where it's like, okay, this is what they want.
As I
Like,
say,
they
I
want
think
him-
it made him look even worse.
They want him to do the stupid laugh, but it's like,
Mhm.
okay, this is not a face. This is kind of like a Max Caster thing, where he's like trying to, like, you know, the little brother syndrome, and be like, yo, like he's like, oh, yo, those are my homies. They were just playing. They know what they're doing. They cool with me. They cool, and I'm willing to let it play out. But between that, all that stuff, and then the swerve stuff, now I'm a little like, okay, maybe he's not winning this thing. Classic. I don't know. I mean, they gave him a nice wrinkle in it where he can easily go off now and beat. He has to beat Ospreay and Darby this weekend, just to get in. I think at this point.
Yeah.
So it's a big mountain to climb. I'm intrigued to see what they do with him, but I don't think this is going to end up with him in the Hurt Business or the Hurt Syndicate. Sorry, I think this is going to end up just like this is who he's going to be. So I don't know, man.
I just don't think it's a good character for him. Like, no offense to him, and I understand why they're doing this. They're trying to, like, get him to expand, and that's great. But, like, do it with his strengths. Like, I feel like you're trying to go too hard at what he's not good at to make him improve. That it's just highlighting how bad he is at it. Like, that laugh is terror. It sounds like he's trying to mock Seth Rollins, and it's not. And, like, Seth Rollins isn't good, but, like, at least it's annoying. Like, it does its job. Where
They're both
Ricochet's doesn't.
they're both annoying. Listen,
For sure.
if there's one thing we've learned as wrestling
This is
fans is
stupid.
anything, no matter how dumb it is, will get over. This laugh will get over, and
That's fair.
like.
So sad.
I'm gonna give you a hot take here. I don't think he's playing a character. I think this is them telling him, "Go
Be
do
yourself.
you, go be you."
You think
Be
this
as
is him in
comfortable as
real
you want.
life?
I do.
It's-
I think he's just being himself. I think we're getting Ricochet to his core,
That's
and that's not a
so
knock.
funny.
Listen, that's why I'm willing to let it play out. But I
I'm
think we're
interested.
getting him
All
right
right.
now. Yeah,
All right.
because he's never been good on the mic, so I'm willing to let him be
I agree.
whatever this
if,
is going to
if
be.
if this is what he needs.
Yeah, we'll see. So moving on now, the huge match on Dynamite. Holy cow!
It was such a good match.
Like Will Ospreay versus Darby Allin.
Sorry. Jay DeFalco just says really quick, Prince Puma would be a good eventual pivot for this character, it seems like he's saying.
Yeah, we'll see. I didn't watch Lucha Underground, but I know who you're talking about. I get it.
So do I.
But yeah, this match, holy crap!
It was so good. Oh my
Just
god.
amazing television match. I am very thrilled again that Darby won over Ospreay. I think it's the right call if you're building Darby up on his trajectory. And again, it adds another wrinkle because now I think your top 4 in the Gold League are tied at 6
Yeah.
going into this final week, and it's like that's why I was saying you got to win like at least 2 of your last 3 if you have 3 even left. It's gonna be fun. A lot of fun.
I believe they said Ospreay has 3 left.
I think there's one or two others that have 3 left. Otherwise, everyone's pretty much got 2.
Yeah.
Like I think, yeah.
I think
but,
Beast only has 1.
Yeah, Beast only has 1. There's a few others that only have 1.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's all. I just wanted to say, holy crap, what a great match. Just amazing, and that's what it's supposed to be on TV every week. I know they've kind of fallen into this lull sometimes where it's not going to hit like that every single time. But watching that's that peak AEW kind of feeling when they first started. We're like, holy crap, you've got to watch the weekly TV to see this, not just the pay-per-view. The Styles Clash and the Coffin Drop were ridiculous. Yeah, the Coffin Drop in particular. Oh my god.
Shocked. When he hit that
Yeah.
corner, man, I was like, again, and I know you're okay, Darby, because you're about to get up, but like I feel like you just broke every vertebrae you have by hitting that apron on that corner. Like,
I love it. I
oh
love
my
it.
God,
I love
every
Darby.
time, though,
Oh man, so damn good.
He is I think a better version than Jeff Hardy in his prime. Like Jeff Hardy was the Daredevil, but I think Darby is better on the mic. I think Darby shows more emotion. I think Darby has a more well-rounded repertoire. He just reminds me of like the stupid stuff that Jeff did mixed. Like he does stupider stuff than Jeff though. Like
here's the best way to put it.
It's like both extremes.
Here's the best way to do it. Darby can still be Darby and like wow us without a stipulation or like hardcore stuff on the line.
Very fair.
Jeff really needed. He could still do some stuff, but he really needed a stipulation to like expand.
But on the other side of that, Darby still wows us by like almost dying. I don't think he's gonna last as long as Jeff did, and that's saying something because we see what Jeff is now.
Well, yeah. All right, and my last AEW point is this upcoming weekend. I look into the future. This weekend is the Hammerstein Ballroom Triple Shot weekend.
That's right, man.
They are doing Ring of Honor Final Battle on Friday night. Tomorrow night, they have Christmas Collision on Saturday night, and then they have Dynamite on 34th Street at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And yours truly will be attending all 3 shows.
Wild.
I've done 2 shows in one day. I've done 2 shows in 2 days. I've never done 3 in 3. So this is gonna be a lot. It's gonna be pretty taxing.
What I will say though, that kind of works in your favor with the scheduling is the time, because Saturday they have an early time, right? Didn't they say Saturday was 5?
No,
they said Saturday was a 5 o'clock start.
It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central, coast to coast. So it starts at 5 o'clock live in California. But the thing I'm worried about is on Saturday is that they're doing Clemson in Texas, and Dynamite won't start until that game's over. So
Collision.
If that game, Collision. So if that game runs late or goes to overtime, they may not even start Dynamite till like 8:30, 8:45.
Oh, so you're gonna get there like your normal early time and might have an extra hour. That fucking sucks.
You don't know because the doors open at 6.
Yeah,
but
you not go at 6. Like you have to. That's fucking.
You just don't know what's gonna happen with the game because the game doesn't start till 4. So honestly, I mean that will hurt it if it starts later, and then also assuming it ends around like midnight, and then the next show starts at 4 the next day. That's a quick turnaround to go home and then come back. So it's gonna be a long weekend. I'm gonna try and pace myself, not yell too much. Gonna try not to get kicked out, despite how close I'll be to yelling at people that I don't like.
I would.
But we'll see.
At least wait till Sunday if you're gonna get kicked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
very true. Very true.
Of them like remembering you and be like, sorry, man, you're not allowed back in here after last night.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. There's some really good matches set already. If I'm gonna be honest, I mean, it'll be fun. I'm a little underwhelmed with the final battle card. I think they could have done better. So far, there's only 7 matches announced. They will probably, most assuredly, tonight or very early tomorrow, announce at least 4 more matches. I'm sure.
True fashion.
It'll be a fun night. I think Final Battle though could have done better, and that's just on the Ring of Honor booking side of Tony Khan. But we'll see. We'll see how things go.
Looking forward to as of right now on Ring of Honor.
Tomorrow night, definitely Athena versus Billy Starks.
All right. I'm gonna pause the timer. I just don't want to cut you off. Keep going.
Yeah, I hope Billy wins. I love Athena. She's had a 2-year reign now, and I think this is the time. I know Athena just said she's starting a world tour, but I think that's a what do you call it? A red herring. They're trying to throw us off. Um, but I'm rooting for Billy Starks, and who knows? Maybe if they don't announce more matches, maybe they're going to give Athena and Billy like an hour. Let them go deep. I think that'd be good too. But
And
I'm
then
sure they're going to announce
Saturday
it.
is the obvious main event. I think you're looking forward to.
I'd assume Ricochet Osprey is the main. I think it's going to be really fun, and then it looks like Sunday's going to be the Garcia Fletcher match, which I think is going to be the other like big ones. I think those are the three big of the weekend, but we'll see.
Killer Tomato says you'd like to go deep.
Well, it depends on the occasion. But yeah, Hammerstein Triple Shot this weekend. It's going to be great. And when you see me on Monday, which by the way, everybody, we're doing. Athena said to Reporter they are the main event. They did, but then also if you look at the poster and other marketing, they're calling it a double main event. So I'll believe it when I see it. But
fingers crossed for you. I really hope so.
Yeah, and just a note for everybody: we are doing our show on Monday this upcoming week because next Tuesday is Christmas Eve. So we will be going live on Monday evening, and on Monday evening you will see me in all my burnt out glory. And who knows, maybe I won't have a voice. So we'll play that by ear. But yeah.
So Monday is going to be one of our usual, especially right before the holidays, just a game night. We're going to have a bunch of random games. I'm not going to tell Juice which ones I pick. I'm going to have a bunch
reindeer
of
games.
And
come on, Rudolph.
Games.
Stay on theme.
And Juice is going to come in. And now that I know his voice might be tired, maybe I choose some games that you got to be loud. I don't know. Or maybe I choose some games we got to type. Maybe silent, maybe charades. Maybe
see, we may not even do a stream. We'll see how I'm feeling.
Karaoke. There you go. Karaoke. Says karaoke. You got to sing the entrance songs. You got to know what the next lines are. Ooh, actually, that's not a bad one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please don't go anywhere. While you're waiting, be nice. Give us a sub. Why not? Especially if you have Amazon Prime. I'm gonna put the directions back in the chat. There you go. Shoot us a sub, let us know. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a commercial break. Please don't go anywhere.
See you in a minute, or two, or three.
Sometimes I feel like I got what I wanted, cigarettes and cinnamon. Just one more time to find what it's like to fly. I wanna see outside the lines. And sometimes I feel it's just too much for letting go. I try to rewrite words engraved in stone. I find out what's with all the little things. I turn it up while no one's listening, and I can be one of the lighter things, the lighter flaming got this happening. Sometimes I feel like you got what you wanted, better than you've ever been. Just one more time to find what it's like to fly. You wanna see outside the lines, and sometimes you feel it's just too much for letting go. They try to rewrite words engraved in stones. And find out what's with all the little things. I turn it up while no one's listening. And I can be one of the latter things to light a flame and get this happening. And you were locked inside your room and so bad.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking around. Hopefully, you guys were able just to chill. And we are back with some WWE talk. This is where the conversation gets a little more one-sided, and I try to get Juice to maybe watch a couple minutes of Raw or SmackDown.
No.
Anything besides pay-per-views. But this weekend was Saturday night's main event, along with SmackDown and Raw already happening these past few days. So a lot to talk about on WWE's side. I know you caught Saturday night's main event, so let's start there really quick before I get into anything specific. What did you think overall of it? Just out of curiosity.
Glorified house show. I mean, every match got like 10 minutes. Nothing got time. You had the Chelsea Green moment, but besides that, like, I don't know, nothing substantial, nothing of value happened on the show. And I mean, listen, did I hate it? No, but didn't really do anything. I don't know, didn't move me. Like, for a 2-hour show, yeah, it was tight and they kept it moving with in-ring stuff, but I don't know.
No, that's
kind of mid.
Before we get into it, let's start off with the Carmelo Hayes thing, as we talked about that a little bit through text, and it was, oh, sorry, I didn't set the timer. And watching it was very confusing and disappointing. I'm not a Braun Strowman fan. I know you aren't either. But even if I am a Braun Strowman fan, like, if you're trying to build up this kid and trying to build up Hayes, and you just have him come off this 7-game series that you built up so much, you have him as such a contender for the U.S. title. You're trying to put him back in that field, and then you have him pretty much just get squashed by Braun Strowman. Like, I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't see any good that comes out of it. He's not going to win this feud with Braun, so I'm not sure what they're doing here with him.
Yeah, I thought it was stupid. I understand the logic that they're going to put behind it. Oh, well, he didn't know who his opponent was, so he couldn't prepare. But okay, but like, then you could have at least like given it your 5 minutes or your 3 minutes. This was like a minute and a half, which is pathetic. Like, this is a former NXT champion. This is someone that was a U.S. title contender who I think, wasn't he just wrestling Cody in the last like month or two?
Yep.
Like, put some respect on the name. Like, keep the character or keep the momentum at least relatively there. Like, I'm not going to spoil it for you or anybody that's like that cares, but like, I read the SmackDown spoilers for tomorrow, and it's the typical WWE booking what they do next after this with Hayes and Braun. But it's just it's annoying. So dumb.
Yeah,
dumb call. Could have done better.
Listen, again, I'm not even a Carmelo Hayes fan. I don't like the way they've kind of built him up, but I do see the stock in him, and I do see if like they change his character that he can be a great wrestler. But this just furthers, like, plummets anyone who wasn't a fan. It's like, yeah, you see, like, why am I paying attention?
This was a very Vince move.
I agree. Yeah, that's what it really felt
Very
like.
Vince move.
And listen, I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. I don't care. Another move where Triple H looks like he's just pushing down the colored wrestlers. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true, man. Like, over and over and over and over again. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but haven't been so far with that. Moving on. You mentioned it before. I think the only highlight, really, of Saturday Night's main event, and really the only thing I put on here besides something that happened technically after the show, Mishin and Green, not the greatest match, not a bad match. But again, a very Mishin match, so like not the greatest match. Great ending. Didn't expect that. I think that's a different way I've seen the Unpretty Her get put on from anyone. And great moment for Green. I think she really deserved it. She's put in a lot of work the last few years. Nice moment in New York. I really liked it for her. Curious to see what they do with these mid-card belts, considering that, we've talked about before where they don't do the women justice on a regular basis, so it's going to be more interesting. But yeah, how'd you feel about it?
Yeah, I'll take the W here.
For sure, yeah. 100%.
For predicting where they would go, at least with Green winning and the finals at this point. I didn't predict this final from the start, so I can't take that much credit. But yeah, I'm glad Green got the win between the two of these two. I don't think Michin is very good, but Green is talented. Not one of my favorites, but she's okay. Yeah, the finish was dope. I liked it. It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is, again, it's another moment where technically she is a heel and she did cheat to win, with Piper being the distraction on the apron.
And they're celebrating the shit out of her.
So that's all.
No,
it's the same old thing.
Bro,
they want their.
Agree. It's like, why do you give these heels the fanfare? Like, first off, you don't need to give anyone the fanfare. If you're doing for both champions, just like let them win the belt. That's how
They want their pomp and circumstance and their moment, and they do the pyro and all. I'll give Chelsea credit. She was acting like a heel when she won. Yeah. She was doing like the heel faces and reactions.
Especially with the ref too, like telling him like how to give her the belt.
It's the commentary and the production. That's what my problem is, and it's not going to go away. So whatever.
I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. Next up, what we've been dreading finally coming to fruition. Probably 6 months too late. But Solo versus Roman for the Ufafala.
It's the Jojo Siwa.
Jojo Siwa tribal combat match. I hated the promo. I'm not gonna lie. I hated that it was like this weird video production where Heyman's like in the background, but not. It was very just strange to me. I do think it's so disrespectful to SmackDown that they are doing this on the Raw premiere when neither one of them have even been sniffing Raw. So I think that's pretty messed up. Yeah, I understand that, but also SmackDown's moving too. SmackDown needs a good main event. SmackDown should need something big, but because USA is used to having WWE on them, they don't get the big move. But I think that's kind of messed up, and I don't know. I just wasn't a big fan of any of it. Haven't been anyway, but just furthering saying how can they make this Bloodline storyline worse? Well, here it is.
Well, I did not see the video package you're talking about. It sounds like that was a good thing. But there is a way they can make it worse, Danny. And this is my breaking news that I've been waiting to share with you and all of our viewers. Oh, no. If you did not hear, this is purely a rumor and speculation at this point.
Okay.
But there is a rumor that WWE is considering creating an undisputed tribal chief championship belt for this feud. And if they go that far and actually create a undisputed tribal chief championship belt, Danny, I think I'm done talking WWE on this show.
The only way I'll be okay with that is if they can place the Ufafala into the belt as part of the commemorative.
Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself, Danny? Like, I
Retail
read
price
that and I was
$49.99 coming soon to WWEshop.com.
that
Says
is
Jade DeFalco.
that is generous. That
I was gonna say
throw at
that's
least
underpricing them.
throw at least another 200 on that number.
Remember the Fiend belt, that horrendous, hideous thing was like $700.
It's just
So if you make
I
a Ufafala belt, that's gonna be like $1,000.
I'm just saying, man, if they really do this with the freaking Lufa Tata thing, like,
That would be so bad.
yeah, I can't. So
That'd be
I just
so
had to bring that up because if they really go that far, Danny, we're gonna have to have some serious conversations on this show about the bloodline going forward.
I have no problem going forward treating the bloodline like you treat ROH on AEW, where we just don't talk
Ooh.
about it.
I like this.
So
Freebird says Sami Zayn for Tribal Chief Champion. No, see, we're not doing this. Everybody, this is what everybody
I would
wants.
take Freebird seriously if he spelled Zayn's name right, like it's hard to spell. That's coming from me.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. All right. Speaking of bloodline, in that tribal combat match, Roman said that the bloodline is WWE's NWO. They will eventually pass the point of no return with it. I think they have, but we'll see. It could get worse. Well, it is going to get worse whenever The Rock brings in his part of the bloodline. But anyway, Roman said that each bloodline can kind of watch as the tribal chiefs do combat. The problem with Roman's idea there, besides that this match being terrible and this whole storyline being terrible, is that Drew McIntyre is systematically taking out the original bloodline. And I kind of like this storyline because I do always enjoy a storyline where the heel is right, such as KO and Cody, which we'll get to in a little bit. But this is a storyline where Drew's just like, all you guys are the ones who are supporting Roman and supporting all this crap. So he took out Jimmy on SmackDown when Jimmy made an announcement that he was hurt and won't be here for a while. Did a sneak attack, took out Jimmy. He took out Jay on Raw a few weeks ago. He peed Sami Zayn this past Saturday at Saturday Night's Main Event in a good match. I won't say it was a bad match. Unfortunately, I wasn't too big on the whole thing as a whole. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting storyline because now you have Drew versus 3, and eventually they're all going to come back. Well, at least 2 of them are going to come back because Jimmy's on the shelf for a while. So at least 2 of them are going to come back. And what are we thinking? Like, how do you like it? Do you not like it? Will there be a tag team Tribal Chiefs champion? That was a good one. That made up for the Sami Zayn thing.
Give it time. Yeah, no, I really don't care for this. I mean, I like Drew, and I'm just so over everything with the bloodline that I don't think there's honestly anything that could draw me back in terms of interest with the bloodline. I'm beyond done with it as a fan. As a viewer, I wouldn't call myself a fan right now, but yeah, there's nothing that could lure me back in and be, ooh, bloodline. I want to see what's going on here. I'm done.
I totally agree, and I feel like the thing that would make this storyline a little bit better is if they just took off the bloodline stuff. If they just said, like, hey, since we're not following you, like, Jimmy, especially Jay and Sammy, Jimmy is pretty much, like, kind of right away went back to him. But, like, hey, we said we would help you. We're not following you, so we're going back to Raw. We're doing our own thing. And then Drew still attacks them, and, like, it's not a bloodline thing anymore. It's just, like, Drew's angry that they helped and, like, they had their own storyline and then they separated. That's fine. But the problem is Sammy's still wearing the Sammy Uso shirt. You have Jay still wearing the OTC bloodline stuff, and it's just like, now we're just fully back into it again. And I'm going to go back to it after Roman hasn't done shit to make you guys want to come back to it. Like, everything you requested to agree to join, he didn't do, and you still agreed to join, you morons. So that's what I'm saying. They deserve getting the crap kicked out of them by Drew McIntyre. I just wish it wasn't still with bloodline shit all over him.
Yeah, just listening to you is very exhausting, so I'm good to move on.
Well, it gets hopefully a little less exhausting. I hope you saw the DIY video where they did an explanation about why he turned heel. It doesn't seem like Gargano's doing anything like the way. He seems very focused, very intelligent when he's speaking about it. They all brought it back to when the Bloodline 2.0 kind of got the belts and like snaked it from them in a sense, and they vowed, and Gargano said, like, I told you guys that night that I would do anything in my power to get the belts back, and wasn't lying about it. I just didn't know what it was going to be until like it got placed in front of me. And then Motor City Machine Gun's like, you're not my partner, so like you were just wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. I liked it. I think it adds, like what we were saying, it makes the heel turn good, that Gargano isn't going to be some like weird funny sidekick or a weird like snickering guy. Like he's going to be serious, he's going to take the hero role. Like it was kind of almost seems like it was his plan, which is kind of cool. So I liked it, and I hope they kind of expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, no, that all sounds good. I did not see the video package. I did not look it up after the fact, but I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear all that, and hopefully it keeps going and stays relevant and not just becomes like a background nothing thing in like 2 months. But yeah,
That's all I'm hoping too,
hopefully,
especially with them having the tag team belts. And I forgot to put it on here, but just really quick because it wasn't a big thing. The New Day stuff, I was a little disappointed on Raw because I was hoping that they would make something of Kofi coming back to Boston and at least have him out. And I think they were nervous that the crowd would cheer him, and they're trying to make this big New Day heel turn. And I think they were nervous the crowd would cheer him if he came out. So they left it as a quick backstage segment where Rey Mysterio like didn't let them in the locker room, and then they went to go get interviewed to talk about how they're being disrespected, and like a fight broke out, so like the cameras turned to the fight instead of them. So I'm nervous that as well as they're doing with the DIY storyline, they're gonna start dropping the ball already with the New Day storyline, and I hope they don't, because they got off to a great start, and last week was a good continuance, and then this week kind of felt like, be careful because we're in Boston, so let's take it a little bit easier this week. So we'll see what happens there.
yeah. Well, you know what? You, just like Triple H and the Bookers, are cowards, and just like New Day, they're also cowards. And I'm glad this is crashing and burning. They deserve this storyline to be a total flop. And I hope the next time they go through a drive-thru, there are no fries in their order.
I'm moving on. That was disrespectful. So, after the main event, which seems to be a thing they're doing now with KO, he attacked Cody, gave him, I forgot the specific type of pile driver name it is.
Package pile driver.
Thank you, package pile driver. Killer Tomato says, what if the person in the drive-thru falls asleep? I don't know.
Even better. Even better. Then they're stranded in the drive-thru for hours, stuck between two cars, no way out, and they can't get food. Continue.
Even better. So, KO attacks with the package pile driver after the match. Looks like Cody is hurt but not injured, which is very important to distinguish. Doctors found nothing physically like broken or anything like that, but he is out of action for a while. And then KO wrote on his social that he will be acting as the real world champion and defending the title through the tour coming up, which is going to be interesting to see like how they kind of play around with that. Feelings, thoughts?
Yeah, so this was a huge missed opportunity, in my opinion.
On TV, right?
You are putting your show on broadcast television to an audience that year-round probably doesn't see you or watch you, and you're probably going to catch those eyeballs. And for a company that's obsessed with eyeballs and getting all the metrics and all the people to see all the things that really don't matter, when you put yourself on NBC on Saturday night, like, someone's going to tune in and watch for the nostalgia factor. And like I just told you, everything was sort of like a house show and run-of-the-mill and cookie cutter. The person that should have won, and hurrah, we'll see you on Monday. But it's like, you end with that on TV where Owens goes nuts and takes out Cody on television, and then all that stuff. Like, that is what's going to get people to be like, holy crap, like, what did I just, like, that's insane, that was nuts. Like, I want to watch Raw now or SmackDown. I want to watch and see what happens next. Like that's what you should be doing.
Yep.
And like at least when you did it last time and Owens attacked Cody backstage after the show, it made sense because it was in the parking lot after the end of a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that I can live with. In this instance though, I think they messed up. Should have been on television. I would have easily not have done Sammy and Drew and given that 10 minutes right there. If you want to pick where you find that time, because they're not going to take it from the ad space, obviously.
Gotcha.
And then, I mean, talk about a travesty, man. I can't believe poor Triple H, man. Like, this guy does not want to be on TV. He doesn't want to be seen by the cameras. He's just a humble, innocent guy that wants to work backstage.
Don't
and
mention
here he is.
Triple H's name.
Here he is putting himself. He's fronting Owens. Owens. Oh man, just Owens is just forcing him like front and center to get like push him and like get in his face and make it all about him at the very very end. Like, what a shame. I feel for him, making it all about him. Poor guy. But at least he was ready to go for the Netflix kickoff live on YouTube, where it kicked off with him, and it's all about him driving up to the arena. So good for him. Good for him. You know, he bounced back.
According to Jay DeFalco, Triple H doesn't want to stick his nose in business while on TV. And
What a guy.
Triple H for Undisputed Tribal Chief Championship.
What a guy. Wow. That's all I got.
Both those things might be true. It's very reminiscent of Vince McMahon never wanted to be on TV. You know, I think they had.
What? Yeah, and also I got one more thing. So it's obvious they're doing this, but like somebody pointed out, like they're obviously just doing this to get more footage to use in the future of like an authority figure on TV because they can't use any Vince McMahon stuff.
Yep.
So they're doing this to like have that. So they're just replacing Vince with Triple H doing these things, and I don't care. It's still pathetic. I hate it. All right, please move on.
Because you know why? No, because you know why it doesn't make sense. Also, you can't tell me it's because it's his world champion. Because like he's backstage doing that for everyone. So why isn't it every time like the women's world champion or the? You're right. I'm moving on. Anyway, last but not least,
the best.
We got Finn Balor and tag team belts. Finn Balor on Saturday night did not win the Triple Threat World Heavyweight Championship match. Lost to Gunther Walter, whatever you want to call him. Then on Monday night, defended the belts against the War Raiders and lost due to outside interference from Damian Priest, finally ending a horrific title reign of JD and Finn Balor. The match was decent, not bad, not good, just a regular tag team match. It was more focused on the storyline anyway. It was like a quicker match. But
of course.
I'm hoping this really just kind of leads to that joke was too. I hate you both. Freebird and Jay DeFalco are just having their own conversation in that chat.
Let them live. Let them have their fun.
So, how do we feel? How do we feel about two things? How do we feel about the title reign finally ending, and how do we feel about the War Raiders being champions? Do we even care anymore?
Well, thank God the reign is over. But you know what? I said that last time when they beat Awesome Truth. And I said that last time when Awesome Truth beat Priest and Finn Balor. So it's an endless circle. It's an endless cycle. And until they give me a reason to give a shit about any of these reigns, I'm not going to give a shit about any of these reigns. Because, like, you brought up a good point. Like, I haven't seen any of these matches. But from what I keep hearing is every single time these tag team titles change hands, it's always been more about the angle going on in the background than the match itself when they win. So, like, no team that's winning them is actually overcoming and winning the belts. They're just in the right place, right time for the sake of the other story going on, making the tag belt secondary, and then there's no momentum for them. So, like, I guarantee you War Raiders are probably just a placeholder for the belts for New Day to beat them. And
but at least there, those are two tag teams winning the belts. Those are two guys that, like, that can be a storyline that goes back and forth between those two for a while. At least the belts are being defended. At least tag teams are winning it. It's not these makeshift teams coming in at the last second for a storyline purpose to do it. Like, I feel now that it's a tag team on it, yes, there will still be storyline because you need that for the belts, but it won't be about the storyline. Like when they face the New Day, it's not going to be about the New Day. Well, no, it's going to be about the New Day turning heel, but that hopefully will be the end of the story for the New Day, where they win after turning heel, and that's their validation. But I still think the match itself will be a good match. It won't be like some random outside interference. There won't be another storyline that's causing the finish of the match. It'll be because of that storyline.
Danny, can I ask you a question, Danny? In all seriousness,
Of course, you can ask me a question.
do you own an oxygen tank by chance?
No.
Okay. Well, you might want to look into getting one, because it seems like you're holding your breath right now, and this is going to go for way too long, and you're going to be wrong. And you need one on standby. So get yourself an oxygen tank and mask, please.
I have hope. I have faith.
No, why? They've given you no reason to have any. None. Zero. Zilch. Nana.
Because you just never know, man. Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah,
And
enjoy.
on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I have faith that Juice will be back on your screens Monday night after a crazy 3-day weekend. He will have just enough voice to entertain us before he loses it for Christmas.
On the screen of your stereos, boys and ladies. All y'all.
Please join us on Monday, special day, Monday, same time, 7 p.m. for our reindeer games. Again, hopefully Juice is there. I'll try to have it back.
I aim to
if
be.
He's not.
I aim to be here.
I aim. We all do. Adios, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Which sucks.
Can ensue. Well, should I give in to you? Did we fall in love too soon? Sitting home to